Today I've got a very quick tip for you if you're a guitarist, and this should hopefully help your playing. It really helped mine and I wish I'd known about it sooner, so let's get into it. So the tip I've got for you today is all about how we have our guitar positioned while we are sitting down. So right now I've got it on my right leg, and most of us when we practice we do it like this, and it's completely fine. But what if I told you there was a better way to position our guitar while we are sitting down? Well, there is, and all we need to do is move it from the right leg to the left leg. Now you may be asking, why would we need to do that? It's perfectly fine to have it on the right leg, and it is. For most of us, this is what we do and it's fine. But you might find, for a few reasons, that it's maybe holding you back a bit or it's causing you some sort of discomfort. So for a lot of us, what we tend to do is, because we have the guitar on the right leg and we have it at an angle while we're playing, your whole hand and elbow need to come at an angle and your body sort of twists like this. And if you're playing like that for a long period of time, it can cause discomfort and obviously can affect your posture. Whereas if I have my guitar sitting like this on my left leg, it is completely flush with my body and it just feels a lot more natural. Once you open up, you might find that you feel like you have better access to the fretboard, and that might be because when the guitar is on the right leg, you sort of have to anchor your elbow against your hip, especially if you've got a longer scale neck, you might find this. But once you have to anchor your elbow on your hip to get up high, it changes the angle of your hand while you're going up the fretboard. So we don't really want that, right? We want the same position, whether I'm playing down here on the fretboard or I'm playing up here on the fretboard. I don't really want to be changing the angle of my hand. So by moving it here, it helps a lot with that. The next thing that it will help with is standing up and playing. So I don't have my guitar strap on right now, but basically when your guitar is like this, right, on your right leg, and you're sitting down and practicing, once you stand up and put on your guitar strap, it's going to go like this against your body. And so some of you might find that it's a lot harder to play guitar standing up. You sit down for hours and you're practicing like this, and then once you want to practice standing up, you feel that it's uncomfortable. Well, this is the reason why, because you're going from this angle to this. Whereas again, on the left leg, once you stand up, the guitar stays in the same spot and it's just way easier to make that transition. So the last thing is stability. Now, it's not that it's unstable to have your guitar on your right leg, not at all, but you might find that on your left leg, it's just way more stable, right? So especially if you raise your left leg, and the more you raise it, the more stable it will become. But this is why classical guitarists do that, and you see they get their footstools and they raise their guitars like that to get an angle as well. It gives them a lot better access to the fretboard. That's cool. We don't want to raise it too much here. Well, you can raise it however much you want. What I do is I sort of just lift my foot. So if my foot's like this on the ground, I just sort of lift it like that while I'm playing if I have nothing to put my foot on, so you don't have to go out and buy something. So I often practice a lot just having my foot just a little bit like that, just so it's higher than the right foot, and then it's a lot easier to practice like that. So yeah, that's my guitar tip for today, and I really do hope this helped you. And I would recommend that if you'd like to, just give this a try. Try for a week to have your guitar on your left leg, and you might see a huge difference in how you play. It might be easier to play, you might be able to play a bit faster, I don't know. But try for a week, let me know how it goes, and yeah, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, I would really appreciate a like, or if you want to subscribe, you can do that too. But anyway, thanks again and have a great day. Cheers.